Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Don't Do Small Talk. Oh!
Well, that's not set up correctly.
Where's my head? Ah, there's my head.
For some reason, OBS decided it wanted to resize everything, and I forgot to do this scene.
Okay.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Don't mind us, professional.
Just as much quality as you're expecting.
So, what's today's topic?
Wait. No, I have housekeeping.
Oh, okay. Do your housekeeping.
Housekeeping? Okay, so, pause. Miss Roy, if you're new here, if you're just listening, I'm Miss Roy.
I'm Royal Color Games.
And this is We Don't Do Small Talk. And welcome to our podcast. I have housekeeping today because I have lots and lots and lots of news since the last time we recorded. So
Hi, Escalator.
Where? Hi, where? Hi, Escalator.
Oh, before she gets into housekeeping, if you guys are listening on Spotify or other podcasting platforms, we do these live on Twitch, on my Twitch, Royal Color Games 1, at Twitch TV. And we also upload them to YouTube. There's some visuals sometimes in the podcast, so I do recommend going over to the YouTube and checking it out.
So if you hear us talking to random people, they're not usually our pets. It's usually chatters, like Escalator. Hi, Escalator. Okay, so housekeeping time. I had to write everything down. So we are now on YouTube with audio and video. So the podcast will automatically upload to YouTube. We don't do small talk on YouTube. Videos. The new videos go up 1 week early for Patreon viewers. So if you're supporting us on Patreon, like Escalator, the random Escalator. So if you're supporting us on Patreon, like Escalator, one of the perks you get is you get our videos a week early. I know, we've got to touch again. Touching.
Keeps deleting her.
Hold on, let me rotate. Maybe I can get closer. There we go. Now we're physically touching. But they are up on YouTube, and currently all of the videos are up on YouTube except for the football mini-sode, because that was not really worth making into a video. Thanos snapped, but only my head. Thanos only snapped my head away. Patreon has new tiers. What the hell?
Sounds like someone's sawing in one of the neighboring apartments.
Okay, someone's doing construction next door, so if you heard really strange sounds, that's why.
That might be Oswald trying to dig a hole.
Okay, you go check on him. I will.
Sit in the center so it doesn't show our house.
I'm trying. Guys, did you expect us to be any better? Because, what in the ever-loving Jesus? Okay. Lord, help me. Okay, so Patreon has new tiers and new benefits for all of the tiers. Yes, it is absolute chaos, Escalator. So there are early access things, there's discounts for merch, I can't remember what else. I think you can add, was it Oswald?
I don't know. I'll stop by the time I get up there.
Okay. You can request topics or bunch of stuff like that. So, check out our Patreon. Come support us. We are officially available on Apple Podcasts. I was super excited. Figured out how to do that. So, if you listen on Apple Podcasts, rate, review, subscribe, give it to your friends, share it, send it their way. Okay, that helps us a ton. We...
Someone to get out of my chair.
I need you to get out of my chair. If you're only listening, I'm sitting in Roy's chair. He's not. He's dancing behind me.
Check them out on YouTube. The videos are funny.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Exciting. Very exciting. Let's touch. Let's physical contact again. Yeah. We are on something called Good Pods. Where do I fit in the new Patreon tiers? Okay, so right now, Escalator, you're tier 1, and you get early access, and I don't remember what else, but there are other things. But yes, you are tier 1, and your payment amount hasn't changed. I just kept the Patreon the same. Haha! Look, he found our Patreon. There's our Patreon. Okay, so you are in the Craving Chaos tier, and then Tangent Schmangent is $10 a month, and Professionals is $25 a month.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Escalator. There's your shout-out.
Shout. You get
a shout-out.
So, member shout-out, behind-the-scenes content, and early access for Craving Chaos. And then Tangent Schmangent, you get behind-the-scenes, member shout-out, early access, and 15% off merch. Professionals, you get everything in the other tiers, and fan requests, and 20% off all merch. As we get further into it, we will add things to Patreon as we get more stuff to add. That would be lovely.
Again,
we
Escalator,
appreciate you.
Only support what you can. Don't put yourself out.
We love you, Escalator. We appreciate you.
Stop leaning forward.
I'm not leaning forward.
Keeps deleting me.
Haha. How's it feel, Thanos? Okay, so we're on something called Good Pods. I love Good Pods. It's kind of an issue because they keep track of how much you listen to podcasts, and I have hundreds of hours in listening. I don't have a problem. But it is, there it is. It is a social media platform for podcasting, not just podcasters, just people who listen to podcasts as well. Rate, review, subscribe, and we charted on Good Pods. We are number 1 in the top 100 Indie Philosophy Weekly chart on Good Pods. And I'm like...
Our numbers went up. We're number 2 now in the top 100 Philosophy Total Weekly chart. And number 4 in the Indie Philosophy Monthly, 15 in Philosophy 100 Monthly. And apparently now we're also number 30 in Indie Society and Culture.
Weekly. So, yeah, it is amazing, right, Escalator? When I first saw that, I basically shit. I was, losing my mind. So, huge. So, rate, review, subscribe. We're going to keep climbing in the charts. And join Good Pods. Come follow me. Come follow Roy. Come follow the podcast. Totally worth it. It's fun. You get good podcast recommendations. Wonderful. Do. We have merch. Super fun. If you go to the website. Bloop, 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 badoo.
I hate this font that you picked.
Font that you picked. Yeah, but it's appropriate for us. Go balls.
Pod, Spotify, Good Pods, Apple.
That might be it? Yeah, that's it. Shut up. Shut up. So we have a website, okay?
Which has all of our episodes.
All our episodes. Don't trust merch no more. So, okay, here's the thing. I pulled up, I have a different merch store than the one that Roy was using. So it's going to be, sizing should be more accurate, theoretically. But We don't have a ton of merch up right now, but we've got great merch. I designed it. We've got stickers. We've got professional cups and professional shirts. We've got spoodles on stickers and shirts. And we've got cute little WDDST logo mugs. But yeah, I designed all of it, and it's really cute. And help us out with merch. Woo! So, you saw the website. It's wddstpod.wixsite.com/we don't do small talk. I know it's a mouthful, but...
It's on the beacons.
Yep. Oh, we have a Beacons AI. Beacons.ai, wddstpod.
Wherever you're listening, look down in the description below. We'll put a link to the Beacons so you can find all our stuff.
And Beacons has everything on it. Everything. We are a Riverside affiliate, so if you are looking to start your own podcast, Riverside is awesome. They have free and they have paid. You can edit, record, the whole shebang. And I've started playing around with Riverside. They've got a little bit of AI stuff that they're working on. But yeah, so if you're looking to start a podcast, check out Riverside. We made a trailer and an outro. So you might have heard those. You're going to hear the trailer or the outro at the end of the minisode. And you'll hear the outro when you listen to this back on your streaming platforms. And lastly, but my transition into our topic, somebody has a boat.
I bought a sailboat. Well, got given a free sailboat.
So,
and I'm rebuilding it on YouTube.
Yep. So, if you want to check that out, it's really cool. It's very satisfying to watch. Oh, Escalator, you're fine. You are A-okay. We still need an intro. The outro, it's literally just ridiculousness. So, you're A-okay. But Roy has a boat, and Roy has a YouTube for said boat and the bucket list.
Yep.
He is repairing said boat on YouTube. It is Royal Color Sails. And it is a 69 Alberg 30. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay, 69 Alberg 30. And she needs work. She's beautiful. She was free. And he just got attacked by a bee on screen. But check it out, guys. On that note, what are we talking about today, Roy?
Well, oceans, sailing, and old wives' tales. Going over ocean cryptids, ocean phenomenons, and probably getting off track at some point.
Yes. So, yes, he has a boat now. It's cute, it's nice, it's covered in fiberglass. So, we are going to try more or less to stay away from ghost ships and boat disasters for this one, because we could deep dive that and that could be a whole episode.
Yeah.
So we're going to save that for a different day. However, Roy, do you know what the Sargasso Sea is?
I do not know what the Sargasso Sea is.
Okay, so I'm probably saying it wrong because it's the Sargasso Sea.
Ah.
Sargasso Sea. So I found out about this when I was learning about, the heck is it called?
Bermuda Triangle?
Bermuda Triangle. Illuminati confirmed. So the Sargasso Sea is really, really cool because it is the only sea that has no land that is its border.
No.
It is fully surrounded by tides and other bodies of water, but I don't know if you can call it other bodies of water if they're all just body of water, but it's surrounded by
other seas.
Yeah. And so it's basically still. And I'm not entirely sure if the Bermuda Triangle is in the Sargasso Sea or if the Sargasso Sea is in the Bermuda Triangle, but
What the old Googs has to say. Okay, so apparently it's in the Atlantic.
Is that our side or is that California's side?
That's our side.
Okay. Guys, don't think I'm stupid.
So, okay, I know I didn't know it had a name, but I know what this is.
Yeah.
It's the dead spot from the Atlantic currents.
Okay,
It's a
I
dead spot.
never.
There's
Okay.
a garbage patch out there.
Yeah. Oh, that's where the
Not the Great Pacific one. That's in the other ocean.
Oh, so here, get back over here. You're disappearing. So, something really neat and disturbing happens in the Sargasso Sea because is that the tides or is that garbage?
That's where
Oh, it's the seam.
Yeah.
The ocean has a seam. This particular sea has seams.
It's apparently seaweed.
So, okay, here's the cool thing about seaweed. Okay.
Here we go.
So, seaweed is... Oh, I have knowledge-ish. I'm knowledge adjacent. Sargasso Sea has a particular type of seaweed that is free-floating.
Yes.
It only lives there.
Mm-hmm.
That, and there's a particular set of crabs that just hang out there. And because of this is part of why the Bermuda Triangle is so dangerous, because with no current and with seaweed, sailors have always thought, oh, seaweed and crabs, we're close to land. We should be careful because we think we're going to hit the shallows. We're waiting to see land, and there's just no land because seaweed and crabs means land. And that's a big reason why they think that people got trapped in the Bermuda Triangle just going in circles.
Okay, the Sargasso Sea here, from what I'm seeing here, I know while I was watching sailing YouTube, I've heard a lot of people talk about the doldrums. Now, normally when they speak about the doldrums, it's on the Pacific side because there's something similar that happens on that side. In the Sargasso Sea here, there's certain times of the year you can go weeks without wind.
That's okay. So this is what we were talking. Okay, that's
since there's no current and no wind,
terrifying.
You can get stuck in irons, and then I mean that would cause crews to go missing. I wonder if it's the same in the Bermuda Triangle.
What's irons?
When there's no wind, your sails are in irons because they're just hitting the mast. They're not doing anything.
Okay.
And irons is typically you put your boat in irons by steering directly into the wind to luff the sails, so you can pull them down, or put a reef or something in them, or tack them to one side or the other.
So how would a crew go missing just because they didn't?
The boat stops moving for weeks at a time. They run out of food or water.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I wasn't sure what irons was, so I thought maybe that the boat itself disappeared.
Well, it would eventually. With no crew.
When the wind kept back up. Okay. So yeah, that's one of the possibilities of the Bermuda Triangle.
Another possibility of the Bermuda Triangle, and there's a little bit of scientific proof for this, but it's my favorite theory. Okay. Is the way that the Bermuda Triangle soil is. It can produce large bubbles of methane that escape from like caves and stuff.
Is that the bloop?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you were sailing a boat over and then there was a methane pocket, aerated air doesn't have any buoyancy. Aerated water doesn't have any buoyancy. So you sail into the bubbles and straight to the bottom.
Yeah. Which has got to be terrifying. Like, just awful. Like, And, like, do you not dehydrate? Do you suffocate from being in a methane bubble?
No, you drown because you're underwater.
Yeah, but I feel like you would also be in the methane bubble. Or did the methane bubble go when it got to the top?
It's not a single bubble. Think of...
Oh, it's like a fart.
Think of the thing that you put at the bottom of a fish tank that produces little bubbles. But on a larger scale. When you have bubbles coming through water, the buoyancy of that liquid is split between the buoyancy of the gas and the buoyancy of a liquid. Boats can't float on gas. They're designed to float on water. So once you lose enough buoyancy, your boat comes down, water comes over the edge, and to Davy Jones.
Okay, so you want to talk about Davy Jones?
Sure.
Because I just found out about Davy Jones because I was trying to do the Googs on, like, a couple of things to just peruse. Aliens, just aliens, nothing else. I mean, we can get to aliens when we get to Atlantis. So they think, they don't really have a reason that Davy Jones, I'm sweating my butt off, so I'm going to drink some water. We currently have no air conditioning.
Yeah, it's hot in here.
And we turned off all the fans in order to be heard. So it's hot as balls. And drinking some water.
So, yeah.
Alien ships
we're
or
talking
boat
about
ships?
the Bermuda Triangle and why it might make boats go missing. Methane.
So.
Methane.
Davy Jones' locker. They don't actually fully know where it came from, but a locker. Do you know what a locker on a boat is?
Yeah, it's a storage thing typically outside.
So they think that Davy Jones, that Jones may be the ghost of Jonah, like Jonah and the whale.
Yeah.
And that is where that came from.
Huh.
Possibly. But they're still not entirely sure. He also... I also saw a note that Davy Jones may have been a bumbling, really shitty, like...
Captain?
No... Okay, so you know the whole Shanghai thing where they used to steal people from bars and stuff them through tunnels and then you'd wake up on a boat? So... They think that he may have been a really bad Shanghaier and, like, stole people to come be on his boat and then just was bad at it, so they, like, sank or died or stuff like that. So that's a possibility, too. But he also apparently has an image and he looks like the boogeyman, kind of. He looks like the big furry guy in Where the Wild Things Are.
Huh. Oh, actually, doubling back to methane, because it reminded me of something. The old wives' tale that you're not allowed to have bananas on boats. Nowadays, it's considered a superstition. Most people disregard it. They bring bananas on their boats. But the actual reason the scientists think that historians think that bananas are bad on boats is if you have a large amount of bananas in a place and they start to decompose, they release ethylene gas or something like that. Not ethylene. What is it? It starts with an E. Ether. I don't know. They release a toxic, flammable gas that can very easily lead to an explosion.
Ethanol?
So boats carrying bananas likely kept going missing because the bananas would explode.
Or, I mean, I would imagine people would suffocate if you've got enough banana gas.
B-A-N-A-S.
Shit. It's bananas. Don't sue
What gas
me.
is it? It is ethylene gas.
Okay.
So yeah, bananas produce ethylene gas as they decompose, which like a small 5 bananas isn't going to produce enough for anything. But when you have a old wood ship carrying tons of bananas, all off-gassing ethylene gas in what is essentially a sealed from the bottom environment, the gas builds up until someone on one of the decks goes to light their pipe or a cannon, and the boat just goes boom. Ethylene gas is what makes meth labs explode.
Oh. Noted. Yes. Women are bad luck on boats or bad omens or what?
No, keep going.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Because of the son of a gun thing?
Yep. So women are considered bad luck on boats because they distract sailors, and distracted sailors lead to sinking ships. But if you have a woman on board and she's pregnant and she has a baby on the boat, they typically had the baby between the cannons on the cannon deck because it's the most out-of-the-way private place on the boat when you're not in combat. So if you were a baby that was born on a ship in those times, you are a son of a gun.
Tally ho. Scallywags.
I love that.
Old grapes smell like a hangover. I feel like... Okay, do you know anything about the whistling on a boat thing?
I don't.
So,
I don't know the...
I didn't do it. So, I think whistling on a boat is supposed to be bad luck because, like, whistling up a wind. But I don't know that one for sure. Was that a spoodle? I see a spoodle.
Yoink.
Hi, baby. She's gotten so big. But, okay, while you kid cat. Oh.
Look at this specimen.
I love our furry little specimen. Where's the mouse?
It's right there. For those of you that don't know, I have multiple screens on my desk. It can be kind of hard to find the mouse sometimes. You misspelled whistling. Haha.
Your mom misspelled whistling. Don't say it. Why can't you whistle on a boat?
Oh yeah, I would definitely be whistling.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna challenge the wind and can lead to a storm because the wind whistles.
Oh.
And so I guess maybe it thinks that it's having a fist fight.
He's like, you said what about my mom?
So, okay. Speaking of challenging the elements, that's the word. Why do we rename boats? Or why do we not rename boats, Roy?
Without doing a ceremony that's considered bad luck to rename a boat, they say it's because you're going to anger Neptune or Poseidon, but the real reason that actually started before we made it, significant in a spiritual sense, was if you received a boat and you changed its name in a ledger and you sailed into a port, and they recognized the boat that you changed the name of, they assumed you were a pirate and would try to blow you up.
But here's the thing. That didn't come before we made it a spiritual thing. Okay. This goes back to the whole, they assumed that the reason was because Poseidon didn't recognize it, and therefore you were seen as an enemy. And that's why, there was a lot more incidents of boats going missing and things like that, because if your boat isn't in a ledger, it no longer exists.
Yeah,
and therefore
really bad luck.
Yeah, that we don't want to anger Poseidon because that's some Odysseus shit.
That's the thing though. The boats kept going missing, and the people on land didn't know. But when you look back at history, almost all historians agree that it was because the boats would go missing because people thought they were pirates, because that is definitely Captain John's boat, and that is not freaking Captain John, and the name's been changed. That must be a pirate.
Right. But they didn't put two and two together. They were like, oh, Captain John was sucked up by Poseidon because Krakens. Because Krakens.
The Kraken.
Yarr.
The gigantic squids.
Yes. So, okay, I've been thinking about this a little bit. I have a theory about Krakens that includes... Actually, no, reverse that. I have a theory about giant squids that includes both Krakens and sea serpents. Because, you've got your Kraken. It's looking at me. It's looking at me. And they would be able to take down your ship, and you saw an octopus or a squid, right?
Yeah.
However, my thought is, I wonder if they're not dragons, they're sea serpents. Escalator thinks they're dragons. I wonder if they thought some of their tentacles, if they didn't see the Jesus age. That is not real.
That is real.
Those are Lego people then. That can't be real.
That is real. There's some scientific expedition, there's some people that have spotted them while out looking for narwhals or blue whales or something. And they were the length of the boat that they were using. It's rare for them to get to a size like that. But they can get to that size.
That I can believe.
So imagine that comes out and grabs onto your wooden boat.
Yeah, no, I would shit. I would absolutely shit. Imagine that doesn't come out and you just see one of those tentacles flop up on your freaking ship. There's a sea serpent and it's trying to touch you. No thank you.
But yeah, it's thought that these guys fight whales.
Yeah, and megalodons. What are the big sharks called?
Megalodon.
Oh, I totally just pulled that out of my butt.
Extinct now.
That's what they want you to think.
Meg.
Huggies, yeah. Big hugs. Oh,
I'm not looking for a giant squid. I'm looking for colossal squid.
Yeah, so, okay. Giant versus colossal, and I can't ever remember the difference, but one has barbs on its suckers, and one does not. And
I mean, there's the giant Pacific octopus, which is the size of a person.
Thanks, no thanks.
Think about how smart octopus are. He climbs onto the deck and just starts eating people because people are food-sized to them.
Oh, no.
Hey, Wasteland.
Hi, Wasteland. I don't like... Oh, God, that's terrifying. No wonder they made Davy Jones an octopus in Pirates.
I mean, that's a colossal squid.
Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Okay, yeah. So, here.
And mind you...
I don't know if that's a... Okay.
One of them's got barbs, yeah.
Yeah, so one's got barbs and one's got little razors.
Colossal squid's got the hooks.
Okay. Which that's something that I wish I would not. I know it's probably dead. I would not be in the water with that.
Can't you wait? I can't wait personally to get out on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
And then get attacked by a giant squid?
We're having giant calamari for dinner.
I mean, yeah, we can use them as inner tubes. Hula hoops. Oh, fair.
It could have been, yeah.
I hadn't thought about that. I mean, that would absolutely make sense that it was a Cthulhu reference.
So yeah, colossal squid. Well, so my theory for the Kraken is, imagine you see a colossal squid, a Pacific octopus, a giant squid, while you're out sailing. You get back to the bar after 6 months at sea, and you start telling everybody. Yeah, everybody knows of a fish. You know, you catch a fish that's this big. When you tell your first buddy, it's this big, and then he tells his buddy it's this big. It's the telephone game. Now imagine doing that with a squid, literally the length of your boat.
Yeah.
Like it starts off the length of your boat. That turns into a Kraken.
And also
within 3 storytellings.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, look at that one.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, he's cute. He's a little mushroom. I like him. Yeah, depending on, like, the size of your boat.
Right?
Like...
Yeah, so we have a 30-foot sailboat. A colossal squid. It's going to be bigger than our boat. We're going to need a bigger boat.
Nope. Oh, God, it's going to touch me. Oh, I don't want to.
I will jump into the water and fight that guy like Ahab.
Thanks, I'll skip. Just bring me dinner.
Just jump off the deck with my machete like, this is Sparta! Cuttlefish.
The cute guy?
Yeah.
That's not... No, that is not real. It's not real. That is not real. No, that's made out of plastic.
Blue Planet Archive. That was a scientific photo.
It's a scientific photo. I'm displeased. What? No. That can't be real. Like, okay, my issue is not the size. My issue
the eyeball?
Is the fact that it looks like it's made out of, like, fondant for a cake.
When you pull fish up from deep underwater, the eyes and stuff bulge out and stuff.
You mean Bob?
Bob.
Bob.
But no, that's literally what they look like.
No, I know, but Bob the blobfish.
Oh.
That's why blobfish are all looking like used chewing gum. Because they are actually inflated underwater, and above water they look like used chewing gum. God, it's just so...
No one's been preserved.
I'm bothered by how perfect it looks. That's what my issue is. They're so perfect.
So yeah, The Kraken.
Speaking of krakens, what about leviathans?
I've heard stories of leviathans, but now whenever I think of it, all I can think of is Subnautica.
Okay, do you know what a leviathan is supposed to be?
Oh, a giant crab.
Well, a giant lobster.
Church of the Lobster Leviathan?
Exactly. Although I have heard reference that leviathans are actually, like, Nessie.
Have you guys ever heard of a New Zealand crayfish?
Oh, God.
Look at these. These are freshwater crayfish.
That's dinner. That is not a lobster, that is a crayfish.
And these actually aren't even big ones from... Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could believe a lobster. Lobsters are technically immortal. They only die when they fail to shed.
Yeah.
So if you theoretically were to help it shed, it could live forever. And this is actually what the Church of the Lobster Leviathan is about. They have a crab. They've selected a crab.
Lobster.
Or a lobster. And they are feeding it and keeping it healthy and helping it molt to see how big they can make it.
My ex but was considering joining the Church of the Lobster Leviathan. And do not quote me on this. I might be wrong, but I feel like they are offering themselves as tribute once they die. So they are sent to feed said lobster leviathan, but I might be wrong. I may have dreamed that, but it does feel like the reason my ex joined the Church of the Lobster Leviathan.
We've been going for about a half hour now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's perfectly legal to raise a lobster to be big enough to take down a city.
I mean, for now, I'm sure there will be laws. Or are you asking if it's legal to feed yourself to a lobster? Because that's probably legal too.
I gotta use the restroom.
Okay.
So do you want to take a short break?
Yeah, let's take a short break, guys. We will BRB, and we will continue talking about something.
It'll be about 3 minutes.
Maybe. I mean, you can donate yourself to science, so we'll find out.
And we're back.
Oh, that is...
Oh, thanks for the mystery supplies.
I mean, okay, Escalator, I don't think it's a way to end yourself. Here, can you bring us back up? I feel like it's not a way to...
Hey, don't spill your coffee on my computer.
I'm not gonna spill my coffee.
Yeah, I'll lean back.
Get in here.
Oh, now I'm gone. There we go.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be ending yourself. I think it's gonna be like, you're already ended, and then you're like... Splash.
No, see, it's like I've croaked, feed me to the Leviathan.
Yeah. Like, it's in your will.
Like, yeah, you're donating yourself to the Leviathan, not to science.
Yeah. Instead of being cremated and shot into space.
You're a religious organ donor. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, Roy, tell me about rogue waves.
Okay, rogue waves are a phenomenon where out in the middle of the ocean, a massive wave forms. Scientists believe it's when the frequency of the waves gets just right, they can culminate into a big wave. They were thought to be just a myth until very recently. I think it was like the 80s or the 90s they discovered it. So I think the main point they make is the reason why it hasn't been discovered is we didn't have any ships out there that could actually survive getting hit by a rogue wave. We now have footage of a rogue wave.
Ooh, really? Oh my god, really? Okay, up to this point, while you're looking that up to this point, I thought a rogue wave was like everything was dead flat, and then you just went boop out of nowhere. Nowhere.
So a rogue wave is like, so you have frequency and you have height of every wave. So let's say you have a frequency of 1 minute, so you get hit with a wave every 1 minute, and they're 10 meters tall. So this is in the middle of the ocean.
Okay.
So the frequency and the height culminate in a single wave that is usually between 5 to 10 times the size of the waves around it. So if you have 10 meter seas with a certain interval and they culminate into a rogue wave, you can get a 100-meter wave.
So this is sort of like the whole Tesla earthquake machine thing, where okay, like you strap it to a steel girder and you find the right frequency to shake the steel girder at.
Yes.
And it'll just shake apart eventually.
Yes, it's a resonance frequency of the water.
Okay. Does water have resonant frequency?
Water waves are a frequency. The frequency is set by the gravitational pull of the moon and where it is in its cycle, plus the waves, plus the current. Here's a rogue wave hitting a ship.
No, it's not.
Oh.
There we go.
Here's a rogue wave hitting a ship.
Oh God.
Mind you, this is like a cargo ship, and it is taller than the cargo ship.
Jesus.
Now imagine being in a 30-foot sailboat and getting hit with that thing.
Right. Now, the seas are relatively calm compared to this particular wave?
Yes.
Okay.
So a rogue wave forms from just the frequency of the waves.
Okay.
And actually, there's another phenomenon that is caused by the same correlation between wind speed, current speed, and tide.
Oh, is it the thing?
It's called a square wave.
Yes.
And these things are pretty.
I love the square waves.
So square waves can form anywhere, but there's actually a particular river in, I think it's China, where as the tide comes out and the current comes in, it happens like twice a week, you get these really cool square waves. Now, these are dangerous.
So dangerous.
If you're swimming, square waves means there's a ton of current. You're probably going to get ripped straight to the bottom.
Uh-huh. Because they're coming in both directions.
But yeah, here's the frequency of a square wave. So this is like a normal frequency for waves, and a square wave will form something more like this.
That's so strange. Okay, so
they actually happen in radio waves too.
What? Wait. What? Wait, okay, so is this kind of like the mystery spot? Is that why things like the mystery spot happen?
I'm not sure why the mystery spot happens. That was wild. There's one in Lake George.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're looking at us like we're insane. Oh yeah, no, escalator. These are wild. I wish you could find that video that you found the other day of the square waves.
It was on Twitter, but I don't want to show my Twitter
on
stream.
We're not gonna play that game. So if you're trying to figure out what we mean by the mystery spot, there are a few different mystery spots. One version is where you cannot hear anything around you. Everything's dead silent.
Mm-hmm.
There's another version where I could stand 100 yards away from Roy
and whisper,
and it would sound like I was right in his ear. And I was just wondering, yay, touched grass. I was wondering if maybe that was square waves, but like, what would it sound like if audio waves happened square?
I have no idea.
I feel like it would be that loudest room in the world thing.
Yeah, there's actual square waves in a video for you.
The most dangerous
waves in the world.
Yeah, but.
And of course, there's a white dude surfing it.
Of course. So are they so dangerous because you're like going and then you hit another wave going the other way?
So, when the currents overlap like that, where there's an up, there's a down. So when the water's being pushed up, there's also equal and opposite water being pushed down.
Mm-hmm.
So on the edges of the squares, you're up really high, but in the center, there's a rip current going straight down.
Oh, okay.
So it turns into a washing machine. You get pulled down, pushed to the side, pushed up to the top, and then just...
Oh, thanks, I hate it.
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to ask you, Aislan, why your AstroTurf was filled with bugs, but now I understand.
So that is square waves
yes.
and rogue waves and like a tsunami. Actually, a tsunami uses the same effect, but the ground is causing the frequency change.
Right.
So as the ground shakes, it changes the frequency of the waves, which causes them to culminate. And when they do that, you know what a meniscus is?
Is that the dome or is that the dip?
The meniscus is the dip in like a
Okay.
flask or a glass of water.
Mm-hmm.
It's the surface tension of the
Yeah.
water is displayed in a glass by a meniscus. So with an earthquake, it uses the surface tension of the water and the frequency, which pulls the water back off the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the earthquake stops, that frequency stops and the water tries to re-level. So it all comes in all at once.
Okay.
Everyone thinks a tsunami is like a 200, 300, 400 foot wave that comes and crashes. When in reality, most are only, 5, 10, 15 meters. But it's all of that water.
Everything is dropped.
So all of that water, it may only be, let's say, 10 meters high. But that 10-meter height goes back for 2 kilometers. So you get a 10-meter wave that hits until it equalizes, and that water behind it just pushes.
Oh my God.
The surface tension keeps the front of the wave together, while the back levels off to the point. So the tsunami stops pushing in when the back finally hits the wave.
Okay. So it's kind of like putting like peanut butter on bread, where you're just like, you've got a big lump of peanut butter and then you're scraping it across.
So...
And it just smooths out eventually.
How the frig do I spell tsunami?
Oh God. P S U B.
Oh, that's TSU. I knew it was T.
Okay, I knew there was a silent letter, so I assumed it was P.
So yeah, when tsunamis come in, it's not typically a huge wave. Yeah, here you go. It's just the water all of a sudden becomes taller.
Okay.
So, see, not a huge wave, but it's the volume of water coming in at the back of the wave. Some tsunamis can be tall.
Mm-hmm.
So, pro tip for anyone who's ever visited the ocean, if you notice that all of the water is gone, get to high ground as fast as possible. Because it's coming back. Thank you for helping me spell it, escalator.
I was not going to, I was going to spell it like pneumonia, or psychology.
See, it's not that tall. That's like a 5-foot wave? 10-foot wave, maybe?
You're asking me. I can't tell sizes for shit.
Well, average car stands at 4'5", so yeah, it's maybe a 10-foot wave, but it's a 10-foot wave that pushes in like 8 miles.
Okay. Okay, so since we're talking about tsunamis, want to talk about doomsday fish?
Doomsday fish?
You know doomsday fish, right?
There you go. Still water level.
Okay.
Wave amplitude. So that's, this is the wave front that I was talking about. And here's all the extra water that got pulled out.
Okay. So it's a wave pool.
Yeah.
Except a nightmare. I like how that image of the tsunami looks like it's trying to like tap you on the shoulder.
Hey. Ocean is dangerous.
So do you know about doomsday fish? You must know about doomsday fish.
Oh, is that the Japanese fish that only appears before a tsunami?
Yeah, and earthquakes. So
what the hell?
Oarfish.
Oarfish.
Oare fish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have actually one of these. This one was spotted only a couple of weeks ago off the coast of Japan.
Yeah, you shut your whore mouth.
They're gorgeous.
So, a couple of things about oarfish. They are uppy downy fish.
Yeah.
So
they're vertical.
Vertical. Oh, they're so plushy. They're very creepy and very large. Very large. And they only show up, people only find them like around the time of earthquakes and tsunamis and
volcanic eruptions.
So, now I've seen word that they only show up and are beached during these times. But I've also seen, now that is the size of an oarfish. I wonder if a colossal squid would eat that.
Right.
Also, how do they eat? Do you think they just kind of like suck down
I have
things
no idea.
from above them?
Probably, yeah.
So, I'm very creeped out by oarfish for multiple reasons. One, they don't look alive. They look like they're just there and they're just going to be there. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. It's so big.
Oh, that's such a gorgeous boat.
Yeah, it is. That's a great shot. Like, I love that shot. So, they show up on land around emergencies. But they also show up in water around emergencies. I have a theory. And I'm literally just pulling this out of my ass. If they only show up when there's earthquakes or tsunamis or whatever, what if they live under the soil in the water? Or they live in the vents?
Or in the depths.
Yes. And like I hadn't thought about that. Sea serpents.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would absolutely make sense, because if you've got a tsunami and a sea serpent, so that fucker shows up and it's like, hey, here I am. Exactly, cracks in the ocean floor.
Yeah, the Megs thing.
Yeah.
Meg
so
the movie.
If it shows up and then a week later you've got a freaking tsunami, like, yeah, that thing is going to be a doomsday fish. It's going to be an omen from freaking hell. It's going to be a sea serpent. I'm not screwing with that thing. But yeah, if they live under the ocean floor, like those creepy worms.
Yeah.
Well,
it's what if the oarfish is more of something like when birds take off from an area before a volcano goes off? Birds know hours or days in advance before they go off. So there's some force that humans apparently can't detect that predates pre-exists a lot of these big events, because you can see before tsunamis, fish will leave the reefs before the earthquake that causes the tsunami hits. Like, they can tell it's about to be a tsunami. Just birds and volcanoes, animals in general.
Okay.
So it's like, ooh, tsunami, I'm going to come to the surface to eat all of the stuff coming back off the land.
Oh, I hadn't thought of it like that. Because, okay, hear me out.
I'm gonna screenshot that and post that to Twitter, because out of context, that is amazing.
So, what if? Okay, I'm assuming that an earthquake would change the pressure of the water.
It probably would.
Okay, so follow my string with this.
This is how we got our philosophy badge on Good Pods.
Right. So the methane thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So if the methane makes bubbles and makes your boat sink, right?
Yeah.
What if the earthquake changes the pressure and the buoyancy of the water, and your typical horizontal fish aren't necessarily going to have that issue where they float up, but uppy downy fish gets forced upwards because of the pressure. Yeah, like the vibrations change the pressure of the water, and all of a sudden you've got an oarfish just bobbing like a bottle out of the ocean.
No idea.
Hey, I tied into the beginning of an episode. Look at that. Oh, cave crickets.
Oh, yeah, cave crickets.
Cave crickets. Husband's been into caving lately, and by into, I mean he's been watching a lot of YouTube videos about caving. He never wants to go caving.
Nope.
But he showed me cave crickets, and it's terrible. They're so creepy, and they touch you with their little antennas.
They're just like
cave crickets.
Their 6-inch antennas just hanging off the roof, going like this,
waiting to touch you.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that the one with the like weird pale people? Yeah. Are they people?
I actually liked The Descent. I thought that was a good movie. I didn't think it was scary.
I've not seen it.
We'll have to change that. It's a good movie.
Okay, I'm not sure if I want to change that, but we could try. Okay. I know some people will have heard about this. Did you know Oh, I don't really get claustrophobic. I like being, like, enclosed in tight spaces.
Not when it's pitch black and there's something hunting you.
No, I'll skip. So, where did it go? Brain? Hercules. Okay.
Okay.
So, Hercules. Here's the Earth.
Around.
Hercules' dad is Zeus.
Yes.
Zeus's brother is Poseidon.
Yes.
Poseidon and Triton are not the same being. Triton is Poseidon's kid.
Mm-hmm.
Triton is Ariel's dad.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ariel and Hercules are second cousins.
Yes.
Okay, I saw a thing the other day about how mermaids are made.
Oh, God.
What if baby mermaids are actually, they just are fish?
Mm.
And, like, as they get older...
They develop a human torso?
Yes, they're like, their head and torso just grow out of the fish. And the fish face just disappears, and then, like, so a toddler...
There's the ADHD.
A toddler mermaid is just, like, looking out of a fish's mouth, and you just see, like, a face. But, yeah, so that's how mermaids are built.
Trident is a fork, yes.
Okay, that's a trident. A trident, if you ask... Big Bang Theory, a trident is technically a three-pronged fork. And it's not forked and it's not appropriate to eat with because it's not a fork. That is a trident. Triton, Triton, has a trident.
Yeah.
There are our children. Probably?
A trident used to be used as a fishing spear. It's a three-pronged or four-pronged gaff.
Could you, like, put a piece of food on each prong and just, like, have a fish come up and bite each one?
See, that's called a gaff. It's for fishing. So a trident is a three-pronged gaff. Like this.
So...
See, it's even got the barbs.
Yes, a trident. Oh, 3.
Yeah.
Shut up.
That's how language works.
Fuck you. Language. Oh yeah, that's how language works. Trident dance. Yeah. But Triton has a different spelling, and Triton owns a trident. I wonder if he chews trident gum.
Tsunami! That's an A-tier comment right there.
Ooh, wait, can you clip that one too? Oh. I hear children. How long have we been streaming?
We'll be wrapping it up here. The kids just got home.
Yeah. Oh, that's...
Hour, 12 minutes, almost perfectly
just
an
about,
hour.
yeah. Yep. Okay, guys. So we are going to probably turn this into... Hi, Bean. Probably turn this into, like, an episode. We're probably going to have a second episode. I got to block. Okay, we're good. We're probably going to have a second episode on more ocean stuff. Maybe going into...
Baby song.
Going into ghost ships, going into other oceany goodness. But after this, check out our beacons.ai. And if you listen to the actual podcast, we will send, you'll hear the whole, what the heck's it called? Outro. It'll be great. Come visit us. Come get our merch. Come join our Patreon. Okay. We will see you guys soon. Very soon. Love you all.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Hey, you've reached WDDST Podcast with Miss Roy and Royal Color Games. We can't come to the phone right now, but if you love what you heard, make sure you rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite listening platform. Stay connected to us on Twitter and catch us live on Twitch at Royal Color Games 1. Craving more chaos? Visit our website, wddstpod.wixsite.com/we don't do small talk for merch and other updates. Support for this podcast comes from listeners like you and us right now. Join our Patreon to keep this mess going and to get more bonus goodies. Until next time, embrace knowledge and embrace chaos. Oh, and if you have an episode suggestion for us, leave a message after the beep at wddstpod@gmail.com. Beep.